Hello everyone, welcome to This Week in Comics, episode 7. I'm Sid and we're in Comic Connections in Banbury, as we are every week, and we're looking at the comics that come out this week. So it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. That's the only Valentine's Day book we have in. That's all we're going to be discussing about Valentine's Day. Moving on, we're still tweaking the format slightly. So we're looking at 10 books again this week, but we're going to look at 5 in detail, and then we're going to kind of flash through the other 5. And we'll see how that gets on. So yeah. We'll figure it out one day. But comment, let us know what you think. So the big book this week is KickAss by Mark Millar and John Romita Jr. So what's interesting about this release is you've got the original creators back on KickAss, but you've got a completely different person in the role of KickAss. Now we've ordered this book quite heavily because we've been fans of the previous series. We liked Hit Girl. The second series wasn't as well received, but it still sold very well for us. Yeah, so this one looks really interesting because it doesn't look like Hit Girl, well, KickAss, I should say, is going down the same path that the previous KickAss went. So it's a new KickAss and it's a new direction. Very interesting, but top A-list talent. So give it a look. So the second book we're looking at this week is Dark Knight Rising: Wild Hunt. So this is part of Scott Snyder's Metal series, which has been just stupidly well received. This has been so well received that we're sold out already. So I'm not going to try and push it too much because if you didn't order it, you're not going to be able to get it here. Actually, I have reordered it, so hopefully next week. So another big one that a lot of people are going to be talking about this week is Tom King's Mr. Miracle Director's Cut. So we've got the reprints of 1, 2, 3 and 4 in stock. We're looking forward to getting issue 5 in. Tom King's just been on fire for basically the last year and people are starting to notice that now. As such, Mr. Miracle's been like back into second, third prints and they've done a director's cut now. So this goes a little more behind the scenes than people might realise, where we're looking at the raw artwork before colour, before inks, before pencils, etc. And we also get a bit of the script at the back. So it's a nice behind the scenes peek at exactly what goes into the making of one of the great comics Tom King puts out. When Disney bought Star Wars, I think a lot of people were upset when they scrapped the extended universe. What made a lot of people surprised was when they decided to keep Grand Admiral Thrawn. So he showed up in Rebels, season or so back, and he's had a Black Series figure, and everyone's been very intrigued as this is the one remnant of the expanded universe who seems to have been ported over to the new Disneyverse. And they're giving him an origin. So this is exactly who he is and how he came to be in the Empire. Because as we all know, the Empire's a little bit racist. They don't tend to hire that many aliens. This guy made it all the way up to Grand Admiral position. So yeah, he must have had dirt on someone, I'm guessing. Grand Admiral Thrawn, issue 1, in store from tomorrow. Sideways issue 1, although that wasn't sideways, that was normal format. So this has been included in the back of a lot of DC books. There's been like 4 to 8 pages teasing this one. I can't help thinking when I'm flicking through it that it looks a lot like that awful Hayden Christensen film where he could teleport and Samuel L. Jackson was trying to kill him. But actually reading it, it's much better than that awful Hayden Christensen film where Samuel L. Jackson's trying to kill him. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm still not exactly sure what I think of the new age of DC heroes. The Terrifics book, to me, is the big one. I think that's going to make or break the series. But it's interesting that DC are trying a lot of new ideas at the minute, where like it seems to me they're in a similar place to Marvel 10 years ago, where they've taken care of their core books, like Superman's good, Batman's good, and now it's like, well, let's try some new stuff with the tertiary corners of the DC. So it's interesting to see them try new stuff, but with good established talent. So Sideways issue 1, give it a look. So now we're going to look at these in less detail. I said so again. We're keeping it. Amazing Spider-Man annual. So what, as I said last week, if it's the normal creative team on an annual, I'm more likely to look at it. This is Dan Slott. You know what? Dan Slott's been putting in such good work on Spider-Man. I'll pretty much buy anything he does. Even the big Extreme Venom crossovers with Mike Costa and the like. So yeah, I haven't read it yet, but Amazing Spider-Man Annual will be in store from tomorrow if we have any left, which we probably won't. Marvel 2-in-1, issue 3. It's fantastic. I love the art. I love the writing. I love the fact that it is essentially a Fantastic Four book, just, you know, halfway there. It's excellent. Give it a look. Marvel 2-in-1. Avengers keeps on keeping on as a weekly series. We're now 6 issues into, I think it's 16 issue event, but I imagine they're probably going to keep that number and going all the way up to issue 700 somehow. It's actually been a lot of fun. It feels like an Avengers book. It doesn't feel like a weekly book, if that makes any sense. It seems to have the normal pacing. It doesn't feel like it's a rush just to get an issue out each week. It feels like a steadily paced monthly Marvel comic, which to me, that's pretty good praise actually for a weekly book. Avengers, worth a look. Part 3 of the dubiously named Milk Wars from Young Animals and Vertigo sees Shade teaming up with Wonder Woman, although that's quite a Wonder Woman costume right there. Give it a look. If you like the first 2, I'm sure this is going to be more of the same. And it's been really well received by the few customers we have reading these books. Really loyal, really enthusiastic about them. So if you haven't checked them out, maybe you should. Black Monday Murders, written by Jonathan Hickman, who's just like my favourite comic writer of the moment. He's not actually doing any stuff for Marvel or DC at the minute, although there is rumours that he's signed with DC. I imagine they're going to wait until the Bendis thing's put to bed before they announce anything. It's just been a great book. It's dark, it's twisted, it's about the Rothschild family manipulating the banking system. It's certainly not for everyone, but it is certainly one I like. And if that sounds like the kind of thing that floats your boat, come and ask us about it, because we have the graphic novels as well. We have the monthly issues. We'll keep pushing this book and hoping it finds a new audience, because it should. It's very good. My trade paperback pick this week is Criminal by Ed Brubaker. I feel like I've probably mentioned too much Ed Brubaker stuff over the last few months. If I haven't, then I should have, because Ed Brubaker has almost single-handedly brought crime fiction back to comics. So Brian Michael Bendis, before he was Mr. Superhero Guy of the Week, he did loads of crime stuff. Ed Brubaker came in, did some great Batman stuff, and then he kind of went, hey, people should be reading crime stuff. He turned himself basically into the trademark. You're reading it because it's Ed Brubaker. What I like about Criminal is every book is a sort of self-contained movie, if you like, and it's good crime noir. So you know the characters are going to screw up, and we're along for the ride to see if they get out of the situation alive and who gets taken down along the way. So Criminal, give it a look. If you like crime, we have a dedicated crime section, so come in, ask us what else we've got. There's loads of stuff we can show you. So if you haven't read this, you should. If you've read this, we can recommend you other stuff. That's how this works. So that's it for the episode. There isn't that much to say other than if you subscribe to your comics, you save 20%, which is quite a large amount. So if you're coming in and expecting to grab stuff off the shelf, as you've heard me say, we do sell out. And you know what? If you pre-order it, it's guaranteed behind the counter with your name on it. Although not written on the comic, that would be insane. And you save 20%. So why would you not order? Why would you not order? Huh? Order. Pre-order, please. Thank you for watching. As always, comment, like, and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. Either way, it moves us up the rankings, so we don't mind. And I'll see you next week. Thank you.